It's your boy Falakamamba. Yeah, guys, we're in the building, in the building. Don't mess with me, man. Don't mess with me, man. Guys, I want people to subscribe click the share button, and like the video. And if you have any questions, you can just pop up the comment there and comment on whatever that you wanna ask, or if you wanna say something, you are well allowed to say that. So without further more waste of time, guys, I'm just gonna analyze and show you as to what is that I'm looking at on pound AUD, and then I'm also gonna do a pound USD. So yeah, guys, those are the two pairs that I'm gonna be doing a breakdown on. Not really to say a breakdown, but a market forecast as to what is that I see for the coming week. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. So guys, as you can clearly see here on my black, I have my weekly marking. The reason that I didn't put in as a zone is because of, you can clearly see that the price is a bit far from this area, so it wouldn't be in need for me for now. But you can clearly see here we have my daily marking as well. If you can just check where I throw my daily marking, if you can just go back in time, you'll see that price has been respecting this key area here. So it's very important. It's very important key area as well. So I want us to do this, guys. I want us to focus more on the areas whereby price is nearby. So when you do that, that's when we draw our zones instead of making them line, because if we truly understand that price cannot really turn in a line but can turn in a zone. So that's why around the line that we have, maybe let's say you have the daily line here, so we know exactly that what price will do is that it will just turn anywhere in this zone whereby we throw our daily marking. So yeah, so let's just throw down to H4 time frame. Okay, sorry about that. Let's just throw down to H4 time frame. So guys, we can clearly see that now on pound AUD we've been pushing to the upside, but if you can just check inside this structure, what is that we have this ascending type pattern, which is also forming something like a rising wedge. If you like, you can say that a rising wedge. So you can clearly see that what happened is that once we reach into these areas, we saw price being volatile the more. So what is that is causing price to be this volatile is because of many people were entering short positions here, thinking that okay, the price, because of, you can clearly see that price respected this key area here, so many people were entering short positions. So this candlestick was just taking people out of the trades, because of their stop loss are probably out above here in these areas here. So now you can clearly see that price tapped into this area here, and then once happened, it rejected. Now you can see that price is developing momentum to the downside, and you can clearly see the way we broke this key area here, this below trend line. You can clearly see that we broke in an impulsive way. So now you can clearly see that we're forming some sort of a continuation or a retest. You can say that as well if you want a retest. Then we wanna see a pound AUD pushing all the way to the downside, because you clearly understand that even inside these areas here, even here you can clearly see that this move is a bit impulsive to the upside, and you can clearly see that this move as well is a bit impulsive to the upside. But now this is the key thing, is that we look at the overall structure as to, because of, we understand that if you go down to a smaller time frame, you find that this was very impulsive to the upside. But now we are looking at the overall structure as to how is the market going to the upside to the downside. If you can just check the difference between this area here, if you can just check the difference between this area here, sorry about that, guys. If you can just check the difference between this area here and this area here, you will see that the market here is not making lower lows and lower highs, or higher highs or higher lows. It's just pushing impulsively to the upside. But if you can just check here, yes, we have impulsive move inside this structure. That will always happen, guys. Once we have a bigger structure, especially on bigger time frame, we find that it's a big correction, but inside that correction we have impulsive move, of which we can capitalize on them, pushing to the upside, because of they are impulsive on what, on smaller time frame. So now let us go to H1, because of, guys, you know that on H1 that's where we take our entries. So as you can clearly see, guys, we have the overall structure on H1. So what I would want to see price doing here, because of, you can clearly see that this is super nice and simple, guys. So let me just throw my trend line here. So guys, you can clearly see that we have this continuation pattern. We broke very impulsive, so we have this continuation pattern. So what I would like to see price doing, guys, here is that I would want to see price pushing to the downside. Let me just put in this, is that I would want to see price coming and tapping here and then pushing to the downside. Once I see that price has broken below, then that's when sorry about that, guys, that's when I'll be looking to take this position above, putting my stop loss above here about 56 pips, and then targeting all the way to the downside about my 90% rule. Remember, guys, we just want to see the reward of about 3%, which is we're getting it here super nice. But someone else who's a risk trader, you can just put enter somewhere here, putting your stop loss just above, giving it more room to breathe. Once you get confirmation of candlestick, and then you want to see yourself holding all the way to the downside about 5%. Super nice and simple, guys. So if I can just go to daily time frame, if I can just go to daily time frame, guys, if you can just check on daily time frame, guys, is that we have what, we have this trend line here, we have this below trend line, and we have this upper trend line. So you can clearly see, guys, that there are two possible options that can happen here. In this case, the first option is that price will just push all the way to the downside. So we might be having a bearish week on pound AUD. But the second thing that can happen is that price can push to the upside, testing this level here before we can see it pushing all the way to the downside. So these are the two possible scenarios that we can see presenting themselves. But the more that has more potential to play is the first one, whereby we are looking for price to just evolve and push all the way to the downside. So let me just do pound dollar as well, because of it's looking pretty nice. So guys, as you can clearly see on pound dollar, I'm on a daily time frame. As you can clearly see, guys, on pound dollar, we are more looking to for pound, because of, you can clearly see that we respected this area here on a daily time frame, and then we are more looking for pound AUD USD to push to the downside. After, you can see that we have this this push to the downside. But now you can clearly see that we have this trend line here. Let me just throw down to H4 time frame, zoom in a bit. So guys, on H4 time frame, you can clearly see that we have first touch, we have second touch, and we have what, we have a third touch here. So guys, on pound USD, what I forecasted is that we might see price coming down and making a double bottom formation before continuing to push to the downside. The reason being for that is that we are still trading below this trend line, guys. Once we break above the trend line and we break this resistance, then that's when my bias can change this to, okay, maybe the market now is matured enough to continue pushing to the upside. But other than that, I just want to see price coming back here. It will be even more nicer for me if price becomes even more cheaper, coming down here to this support area here. Then once it gets into this support, then I'll be looking for my confirmations. Then that's when I'll be taking the trade all the way to the upside. But other than that, guys, remember, we are not married to any setup, so we can literally switch our bias as simple as that on the trade. You don't have to be stuck with a setup that isn't playing out. So other than that, guys, when I see price breaking this key area and coming for a retest, then that's when we're gonna be looking to capitalize all the way to the upside. So it's pretty simple, guys, on pound dollar. Not much of complication. Even you can clearly see the price. We have a correction here, then we broke out of correction, we came back to test the breakout. So more chances that we can just come and test this area and push to the downside, making this double bottom before we can see price pushing to the upside, are a bit more high, because of, you can clearly see that this area has been, especially this area here, you can clearly see, sorry about that, guys, this I'm trying to get, yeah, this area here, guys, you can clearly see that this area here, guys, price has been struggling to break these areas here. So now you can clearly see that price once again failed to break above, rejected. So we want to see how this candlestick is going to close. Once it closes here, when I get our confirmations, before you can take the trade all the way to the downside. So that is what I'm looking for, guys, on my weekly forecast. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. If you wanna have something to say, just drop in the comment, and don't forget, guys, to click the like button and also share with your friends at home. It's your boy Fanlake Mamba signing out.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Tremaine, your FX Chasers mentor, coming back with another market breakdown. Now, in this one, guys, we're gonna go over Aussie CAD. So we're on the daily chart right now. You guys can see some previous analysis. This is from our weekend live session. So let's just delete this. Though what we can see, guys, on the daily chart, we have a market that has violated some previous structural lows, which are also daily structural lows. So we do see these previous support areas here being violated by this move to the downside. So Aussie CAD, guys, if you look at things from a daily perspective, we have violated some daily structure to the downside. So guys, daily structure, guys, we do see some sellers showing interest. We do see some sellers showing interest here. We do see some structure pushing to the downside. So now we can go down onto our H4. We know that daily structure is bearish. So guys, on our H4, what we can see is that we do have this market that has been trending to the downside. We see lower lows and lower highs being formed. So we want to be trading in the direction of this trend. So where's the next area of value that we can be looking at? Now on the H4, guys, what we can see is that we do have this double top structure forming over here, which is also our previous higher structure. So looking at things, guys, from an H4 perspective, we know that markets trend to the downside, or at least what we know is that a market that is trending to the downside, the trend would still remain intact as long as price remains below a previous lower high. So same thing, guys, within this case here, what we do see is that this market, I'm just trying to delete this thing we just drew here. We do see that we do have these previous lower high structures. So obviously, guys, this market, this sell bias structure will still remain intact as long as prices stay below this area of significance, which is our previous H4 and daily swing high, lower high. So guys, after this, we do see this double top structure. We do also see that the neckline of this double top structure has not been tested as yet. So guys, this is the area of value that we are looking for a tradable opportunity from for a potential selling opportunity, guys. So the retest of this neckline of the double bottom, of the double top, will give us an opportunity, or could present us an opportunity to actually sell this market. So one thing we're going to look for, price is really almost in this area here. So once price actually does tap into this area, first of all, we'll be looking for signs of reversal structures. We'll also be paying attention to how is this descending trend line broken. If we violate this descending trend line in the form of a corrective structure, then I will be more than happy to actually look for this sell. But if you violate this descending trend line nice and impulsively, then I'm going to look for, or I will be looking at these other previous higher structures up here for a selling opportunity, guys. Now let's just go down onto the H1, discuss what the H1 structure is doing. What we can see from an H1 perspective is that we are sort of correcting into this resistance area. If we look at the nature of this price action versus the nature of this price action, we can clearly see that this is a lot more corrective than this price action on our left hand side. Hence, us assuming that we're going to at least change things will shift into a potential downtrend. Now, what we can also do is mark out the trend that we do see developing here on the H1. So we just connect a few of our lowest points over there, and we do see that we do have this trend line that is still remaining intact, where every time price touches, we bounce off. So what we could be waiting for also is a violation of this trend line. So right now we can see things are trending to the upside. So obviously, if we do see a violation of this trend line followed by that lower high, then we can be looking for those opportunities to actually involve ourselves as a seller of this market, guys. So we spoke about structure, we spoke about how price is trending to the downside on those higher time frames. H4 time frame is also trending to the downside. So we're looking to actually catch continuation of this downtrend by trading the retest of this neckline of this potential double top structure that we do see over there. So all structure, guys, is, or at least all structure should align with our sell bias. The moment we do see that reversal structure happening within this area that we assume or that we are taking as a point of interest, an area where we're going to look for those probabilities, and also an area where we're going to be able to find a beautiful risk to reward ratio. Once we find this entry over here, guys, in this area here, we'll definitely be looking for that selling opportunity. This is the quick breakdown, guys, of Aussie CAD. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys got as much value as possible.